First, weighing in at 199 pounds, from Cleveland, Ohio, this is Johnny Gargano!
Well, we continue to move along here. 2CW Wrestling, 2CW 2 sets from the Pastime Athletic Club in Syracuse, New York. And we've got the 2CW return of one of the brightest young superstars in independent wrestling today. That being the Cat's Knees, or the Cat's Pajamas, the Bee's Knees, and the whole shebang. I think I got all three. Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Wrestling is here for one final match in 2CW. Can't wait to see who his opponent will be. Again, no matches announced tonight, just kind of going with the flow. And what a surprising, awesome night it's been so far here tonight at the Pastime Athletic Club. Johnny Gargano, we've seen him make even more of a name for himself in recent months. Only wonder what the future holds for this bright young star in the world of professional wrestling.
Of course, we saw him in that great match with Jason Axe at 2CW's 99 Problems. Ended in a time limit draw. It was a 30-minute time limit draw between him and Jason Axe. Eventually, Jason Axe would bring his cinder block into an Iron Man match with Johnny Gargano. That said, it hasn't deterred the young man from Cleveland, and the fans at Syracuse absolutely love him. And we've got some great wrestlers still in the back. And who in the world is going to come out to take on Johnny Gargano, who, oh, by the way, also main evented Living on the Edge 9 against the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Who's it gonna be?
His opponent tonight weighs in at 213 pounds and hails from Boston, Massachusetts. This is diehard Eddie Edwards.
Oh boy.
Well, there he is, half of the former 2CW Tag Team Champion, American Wolves. He's been here since 2007, on and off. He's had many a tremendous match in this building and in 2CW. And here tonight, so we've got Eddie Edwards against Johnny Gargano. That is our next match. Let that sink in. Eddie Edwards with Davey Richards winning the 2CW Tag Team Championships back at Living on the Edge Weekend 5. Eventually lost the championships to the Olsen twins, Colin and Jimmy. He's had many a great singles match here. He was part of 2CW. And we are thrilled to have him here tonight on this final night of 2CW Wrestling. Some of his early matches with ISIS Effects here in 2CW were off the charts. He's come a long way from the young kid with the cornrows. I'd be remiss if I did not mention that our referee for this match is 2CW Commissioner Keith Harris, who has come out of, I guess, retirement from refereeing, and he will be the referee here for Eddie Edwards and Johnny Gargano. CW, where wrestling is the entertainment. We get a handshake to start. We've got Eddie Edwards, perhaps one of the hardest choppers, I guess would be the best word to describe it, in wrestling today against Johnny Gargano, the master of Lucha Resu, which is a combination Lucha Libre, British chain wrestling, and Porosu. It's song time here at the Pastime, and there we go. The fans love Eddie Edwards here in Syracuse. And Johnny Gargano saying, hey, wait a second. And it sounds like we've got a split here. my word. You remember the night Jessica Havoc wanted to lynch him? Oh, actually, no. Excuse me. Yeah. That was a wrong choice of words. I apologize, but you get the idea. She was unhappy with that particular fan. And I think we're finally going to have a match here. Wait, what?
These fans back and forth. Don't tell Candice. We were referring to Candice LeRae, who was victorious earlier tonight over Jessica Havoc in set 1.
But we've got dueling chants here.
Wait, what?
Oh, my word. Eventually, we're going to get a bell here to start, potentially, hopefully. And so finally, it appears we've had our fun and we're ready to go with wrestling action. Eddie making sure those hands are ready to dole out the knife edge chops. And here we go. Elbow and elbow.
Gargano wants any of those chops.
I don't think anybody wants to be on the receiving end of a chop from Eddie Edwards. The shirt said "Chop Eddie Chop." And an early standoff here. And to be honest, I don't know if these two have wrestled before. Again, we did not know anything that was going to happen before tonight. We knew both were on the list of potential wrestlers to be here, but as to the matches, we're not sure. And if this is the first time, this is a treat between Johnny Gargano and Eddie Edwards. And Johnny wrestling with a side headlock on Eddie Edwards in the middle of the ring. Keith Harris will come in and put the count on right now, and a clean break, and we actually have some sportsmanship and a good spirit of competition to the crowd. I don't even know at this point. So again, we'll hopefully continue along here. The crowd is having fun, and we're having fun as well here on 2CW's 2. Irish Whip reversal. Eddie Edwards goes up and over. Inverted atomic drop from Eddie. Eddie going for the quick lateral press and a hook of the leg, and he gets 2. He will follow right up. We've seen Eddie both in singles and tag team action here. We've seen Johnny Gargano primarily in singles matches. Again, there was that great match with AJ Styles at Living on the Edge 9 in Watertown, the world's largest toga party. And that may have just taken all the wind out of the chest of Johnny Gargano right there. And
well, he had a little wind left to complain at the fan who encouraged the chop because he wanted none of that.
Johnny Gargano to the outside. Eddie wants to fly here. Clothesline misses, and Eddie connects with a knife edge chop, and there's nothing that you can do to prepare for being chopped by Eddie Edwards. To get ready for it, you may almost just want to run into a tree trunk, or a tree limb, I should say. That's what it feels like. And Eddie Edwards now stalking Johnny Gargano on the outside. Nearly right into the cameraman, and
right
surprisingly,
into a shoe.
Surprisingly, this match has gone to the outside.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this going to happen
no.
again? Yes! Shoe C-Dub! It's happening!
It's Shoe CW2.
One more time!
In come the shoes. Look out. Heads up. That was a boot that nearly hit us.
Oh, man. Yeah.
We've got about 10 to 15 shoes and boots in the ring.
Of course, of all the things, of all these shoes, the one that hits is
chicken's
a Timberland boot.
The chicken's in the ring as well. What in that? Oh, my God.
Shoe C-Dub.
More shoes coming in. There's the leg. There's the leg. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And Johnny Gargano still on the outside. Again, this is a singles match here. And
what?
There's the leg. Keith Harris is on the outside. He's bailed out here for probably the safer place to be. And we've got a mountain of shoes in the middle of the ring. Shoe CW Part 2.
And in the center of the ring. Sorry to cut you off, John.
That's okay.
That's not a shoe or a leg. That is a rubber chicken.
That chicken's hardcore, man. And so Eddie's got the leg here. It's traveled all the way from Binghamton. Johnny's got no clue what's coming.
Wait, are we going to see a shoeplex?
Johnny Gargano blocking the suplex attempt. Eddie inching his way closer to those shoes. Eddie may reap what he sowed here. A battle over the suplex right before that pile of shoes, sneakers, and boots in the ring. Oh no! Suplex onto the shoes to almost recreate the Colin Delaney line from the ladder match at Living on the Edge 8, but in that case it was a tombstone on the thumbtacks. In this case, a suplex on the shoes.
Just tweeting right now, hashtag Shoeplex City.
Oh,
immediately one of my favorite all-time 2CW chants. And wait a minute.
So some of those shoes
I only brought one extra pair of shoes on the flight this week. Can I get one of those? You got a 13? Oh, the chicken.
So
here's the chicken.
The shoes have gone back out to the ringside area. Eddie's got the rubber chicken.
Oh, the chicken stalking.
He just pecked him. Don't tell Davey about that either. He just kissed the chicken. I'm at a loss for words here. Irish whip Johnny up and over Eddie Edwards. Rolling Eddie over, and he just nearly kicked the teeth out of Eddie Edwards' mouth right there. Johnny up and over. Slingshot into a spear from Johnny Gargano right into the rib cage of Eddie Edwards. So the tone of this match has changed in Johnny Gargano. The shoes have been cleared out. The poor unfortunate SOB that's going to have the job of trying to sort through those later tonight and find the appropriate owners would not want to be that person. Johnny Gargano now measuring Eddie Edwards with a drop kick to the back of the head, and this is not a side of Johnny Gargano we're used to seeing, where he is mean, vicious, and aggressive. We're used to fun-loving Johnny, high-flying, going for the lawn dart, jumping all over the ring, and showing some chain wrestling. We may still see that, but I'm sensing more of a dark side of Johnny Gargano here. Slam on Eddie Edwards in the middle of the ring. And now Johnny going back to the outside. And he's got another shoe. That's a fairly big shoe as well. And what is going on right now in the mind of Johnny Gargano?
Warming up the shoe.
Thought about a super kick.
Maybe that was one. Hold on.
And Eddie Edwards kicks out.
Would shoes be legal in any match? Because, I mean, you could wear them to wrestle.
Yeah. I think we have to ask
where's the rule book?
Where's the athletic commission?
Where the hell's the doctor? Where's
State Athletic Commission. I think that's out the window at this point. So Eddie Edwards is onto the outside. This is 2CW's 2 sets where things have completely broken down here. Thankfully, though, we've taken out the trash and Benjamin's now heading back to wherever he came from. And right now we've got Johnny Gargano now potentially maybe calling for a chop here on Eddie Edwards.
A lot of momentum there.
Eddie getting paintbrushed nearly into the front row.
Taste of his own medicine.
And they're going back over where the shoes are right now. Johnny saying one more time. He might be taking too much time, though, here. Shot misses. And Johnny nearly chopped into the front row by Eddie Edwards.
Uh-oh. As if Eddie Edwards' chops need more momentum. Woo!
Wow.
Good night.
Johnny Gargano with a super kick as Eddie Edwards came in for the chop, and Eddie is down in a heap as he went down like a sack of potatoes right there. Eddie almost dead weight at this point, and Johnny Gargano with evil intentions in his eyes. Back up to the ring apron. He may be wanting to go to the top rope here. Kick connects from Eddie Edwards. Again, Eddie has been here nearly since the first year of 2CW made its debut in early 2007, namely a singles competitor. And right now, Eddie Edwards and Johnny Gargano are on the top rope. Superplex shaking the entire ring here in Syracuse.
I think that just sent some leftover donut particles into the front row with the momentum coming down. That took a lot out of both of these men.
Extremely warm in here as well. It is sweltering right now. The heat has to be taking a lot out of these two as well. We've said it so many times, but with the pace and the heavy hitting in these matches, it just takes pretty much the life out of you with the heat as well. Eddie with a big back elbow to Johnny. Jawbreaker. Eddie immediately following. Turns Johnny over and slams him down to the ring. Keith Harris in a position in a 2 count. And Eddie Edwards in disbelief right now, looking at Keith Harris, wondering how that was not a 1, 2, 3.
Johnny wrestling still with some fight left in him.
Forearm shot catches Johnny Gargano, and now Eddie, oh my good word, right above us. Another super kick from Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano looking to the crowd, waiting for Eddie Edwards to get up. Gargano moving with a purpose and a slingshot DDT. Johnny Gargano hooks the leg and sits back on Eddie Edwards' shoulders, and he got 2. He maybe did everything right there with the cover. He hooked the leg and then kind of sat on Eddie's shoulders so he couldn't really get a push off. But somehow Eddie Edwards refusing to lose here, and we've seen a lot of that over the years here in 2CW from Eddie Edwards.
I could have sworn that was 3. So close. This contest, unbelievable here. The final show, and these two men just going after each other here at the pastime.
No championship on the line, just simply pride between these two men and trying to win this match, and this could be the setup for the lawn dart. Eddie falls off of Johnny's shoulders. Big boot from Johnny Gargano. Eddie scores with that kick. Shin checker from Eddie Edwards, cover. He spins over into the single leg crab. Single leg Boston crab by Eddie Edwards. Johnny trying to sit out of it or roll out of it. Johnny grabs an arm. He's looking for the Gargano escape, and he's got it on. Gargano escape from Johnny Gargano. Eddie crawling around trying to get out of it. He grabs Johnny's leg. They're both rolling around the mat. Eddie's got a single leg once again. Good mat wrestling from these two, and it's Eddie trying to turn the crab over. Continues rolling. Johnny cover. And a kick out after the inside cradle. And a chop from Eddie Edwards. Johnny kicks the legs out from Eddie and hits him with one of those Tajiri-like buzzsaw kicks.
Bullseye.
Lawn dart from Johnny Gargano, cover. And Eddie Edwards kicks out at 2.5.
What a match. John McGraw, what a match here in Syracuse.
We started with dueling chants, with some fun, with some hugs and kisses. We had shoes flying in, and now we've got lawn darts, and both men emptying their arsenals against one another to try and come up with a win in singles action. What does Johnny Gargano have left in his arsenal, essentially, to try and hit Eddie Edwards with here? What will he need to do to keep Eddie Edwards' shoulders down for a 1, 2, 3? Eddie hanging on for dear life right now. Firing in those punches. That's what you'd call a slap. And Johnny Gargano is down. Eddie Edwards on the top rope. Went for the stomp, rolls right through.
Oh!
Johnny wrestling scores with a big kick there. Eddie grabs the leg, rolls through, heading into the single leg crab again. And he's got the single leg crab, almost an Achilles lock here from Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards has Johnny Gargano with nowhere to go, and he's too far from the ropes, and that's it.
The winner of the match, Die Hard, Eddie Edwards.
Well, what a contest that was. And an incredible effort from Johnny Wrestling. But that roll through from Eddie Edwards, I mean, a veteran-like move, just sneaking through the legs, turned him over and finished up the match. An incredible showing from both these men here on the final night of 2CW. We've seen incredible matches from both these two over the years.
That was quite the display, I must say.
Oh, yeah.
As we've seen throughout the night, both men simply just spent after going to war with one another. A lot of the crowd standing up here, and this is nearly a standing